We are here back again at Dirt and All HQ. We are here today for episode 7 with Brad O'Shaughnessy from RDO Equipment. Thanks for joining us, mate.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having me.
Morning, Brad.
Morning, mate.
Hello, Woods. How are you today?
Not too bad.
That's the way. How's the weekend?
Oh, kids stuff on the weekend,
Yep.
pony camp,
Oh.
soccer gala day. I've
And
done
do
it
you
all.
ride the pony?
No, I've done that plenty of times.
Brad, you got up early and come down here from Brisbane today.
Yes, I did, and left all the gifts I had for you boys sitting in the garage. It was 3 a.m.
I'm not too concerned, Woodsy. Woods is pretty keen on some RDO merch, some John Deere merch.
I got one with got me tractor butt.
Yeah,
Got a jacket.
yep.
That was pretty cool.
Yep. So, yeah, you've got a bit of gear. And, you know, I've never asked this question. You've got a farm. What do you farm?
Cattle, beef production.
Yeah, okay, cool. I didn't know if you were out there doing lettuce and
No,
potatoes.
definitely
Griffin's
not.
on the potatoes.
Yeah, and garlic. Yeah.
It only just struck me that I didn't know what you actually did out there.
Waste money, my wife says. You see any of your gear down on the way down? Coffs Bypass, big job.
See a little bit, a few graders coming down.
Coming through. Yeah.
A few green tractors out in the fields as well, though.
In the paddock, yeah.
So, but I wasn't really looking. I was
Oh,
just
the
sort of
cane, yeah.
dead straight.
They were burning the cane last night when I come
Were they?
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Time of year.
There's signs up everywhere saying they're burning it all, but I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, it was
But
spectacular view, actually. The
Yeah.
orange glow in the cane fields as I was heading down.
It's cracking, yeah.
Yeah.
So, mate, look, you need little introduction amongst our audience. It was quite evident even when we threw the call for questions out. We got an overwhelming response. Mate, you've got quite a following across multiple channels, and predominantly you work for RDO Equipment selling John Deere gear. How did you end up there? Tell us your story.
How did they end up at John Deere or RDO? Well, how did they end up from the start of getting there?
Yeah.
Or how did they
Yeah, mate.
Yep.
So, like, tell us from the start.
You grew up in Victoria, I believe?
Yeah. So I guess I've got a machinery background.
Yep.
I grew up in Victoria, in a town called Colac, which a few people that be following me know
Down
who
there.
grew up with me as well. So it's a bit of a farming town. What was it, 10,000 people or so. Got a family earth moving business down there. Well, when I say family, it's a bit of an adopted family. It's just a sort of family friend that's sort of pretty much become a father figure to us all.
Yep.
So anyway, bit of a story behind that one, but that's all right.
Good way to get cheap labour.
Family, yeah.
Well, it's me and my cousins sort of started. It was a family friend for sort of all the cousins. We've sort of got dads that don't exist, so we had this
Yeah.
sort of adopted dad that we all just pretty much called our dad, which is
Yep.
Daryl.
That's cool.
And he had an earth moving business, and since kids were always out with him. I think I learned to drive a 12G when I was 8 years old,
Wow.
9 years old. So
Yeah.
and then driving graders out the jobs by myself when I was 13. So we used to have an old steel weld, which they come out of Footscray.
Yeah.
We used to go out do farm tracks with that and stuff like that. So, and obviously developed sort of graders was my first thing I sort of learned to do. So, and when I say I learned to do this, we're talking just grading paddocks and
Yeah, not
sheep-
final
yeah.
trim.
not fine. I did a bit of final
Doing a
trim when I
final
got
trim
to the
at
excavators,
13 years
but,
old.
but not in the like the steel wires we had probably had 150 mil worth of play in them. So
Wow.
I wasn't
Yeah.
doing any,
Yeah.
wasn't doing any final trim with them, but it was pretty interesting, I guess, growing up doing that. I know there's some stories, sort of grading farm tracks back in the day, and sort of think about the way operators are now.
Yep.
Where I used to have to wear a gas mask because it was that dusty. There was no windows.
Yep.
Then you get out of it at the end of the day, and I was covered in mud because it was so hot in Victoria. But the mud is obviously because you're sweating so much.
Sweat
you
as
get out
well.
and
Yep.
you straight to the bottle and get a can of Jim Beam and drink that on the way home.
Well, it's good to see that there was even, a bit of PPE acknowledgement back then with the dust mask.
Yeah. I don't know if it really worked that well. I think it just made you hotter. But anyway, so look, that developed from graders. Then I got the first 330H Hitachi. I think Daryl got that for me when I think we were 15.
Yep.
So, and the old boy we'll say the old boy, just makes it a bit easier.
Yeah.
He didn't come from excavators or anything like that, doesn't know how to operate them, anything like that. So we brought this excavator and he goes, well, I don't know how to operate it, so you got to
Learn.
teach yourself. So the first job he dropped off to was a dam. So I dug this dam on the side of a hill and it still holds water till today.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
I was,
good job then.
I think I was 16, so we had to dig all that side of the
Put
hill.
the key in and
Yeah, to did the core trench and everything. I dug it all out, then packed all the clay and everything like that. We just knew we we had an idea of what we needed to do with this dam.
Yeah.
So, and we just used the grader to roll it in. So, yeah, and that sort of worked. So that was, as I said, 15, 16, I started doing that, and I think that developed in pretty much all round stuff. Like we had an old Euclid dump truck, fitted on dump truck.
Yep.
R model Mac, which is what I used to drive. I used to drive that there when I was as young as I can remember.
Yeah.
We obviously truck and dog and everything like that. So, I think then I ended up moving up to Geelong, which I got into rail work. So I worked on the rail for 7 years. Excavator operator there, high rail. So a lot of work with Engcons. So I've spent a bit of time doing that.
Yep. So you're a Cats fan?
Hey, we're at 5 minutes and 48 seconds into the podcast. Here we go.
Not really.
I just said Geelong.
haven't really been into footy. I'm
Yeah.
not really, I don't know. It was more of something like I was pretty much a hoon. I've had most of my cars impounded. I actually got my car impounded the day Peter Brock died, doing a big skid down Eastern Beach.
Yep.
And I remember him pulling me over. He was like, the fucking
Yeah.
best driver in Australia died today, and here you are being a fucking idiot. And I was pretty much, the only thing I could say was a good skid. But
What sort of cars were you getting impounded back then?
that was a VS 5-litre.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, no wonder.
I had this VS, and I guess at the time I did a bit of work to it. It wasn't anything special like cam and high stall and all that kind of shit. I was only 18. So this thing would just do a skid,
Yeah.
I guess, and that's what you wanted to do when you're that
That age.
So I did it anyway. But yeah, so it's, look, the earth moving stuff sort of, I remember, I guess, working for ARTC, I did some backhoe work as well. So I had to learn to do backhoe controls. I guess bring it up because I remember Steve Davenport, I used to work for there, he was the foreman. And I couldn't use backhoe controls because I've learned in excavator.
Yep.
And I kept cracking the shits every day, not doing this, not doing this.
Everything's
He goes,
opposite.
look, I'll give you a choice. He goes, you either learn the backhoe controls or you get out in the shovel with the boys. So I had the backhoe controls sorted by the end of the day.
The end of the day, you're all right. Didn't know digging.
No digging. And then, yeah, look, I think I'd said, yeah, did that for 7 years, moved up to Gold Coast. And I was working with Leighton's there a bit. I was on like a Balco there, doing a bit of work in the stabling yard. And then I think it was actually, it was middle of summer, I moved up, and one of my mates, Benny Perry, actually got me the job. He's the superintendent for CPB. And he had an injury, so he was off work. So they got this other filling guy. It was his old hard ass, and he's like, "Well, I was a labourer." He's like, "You're a fucking labourer, so you can get out with the labourers and do concrete." And I'm like, "I've been an operator my whole life." I'm like, I don't concrete. They were talking about middle of summer in Queensland. So I got out trying to do like terrible labour. I hate labour. Like I hate work. Like I can't work for other people doing labour. Like I just hate it. Anyway, got me out screeding, and I had that much chafe between my legs. I was walking like a gunslinger down the stabling yard, and that was about it. I smashed me hard out with a shovel, and pretty much said, "You can stick this up your ass."
I'm not going to
I went home and I can't remember if I actually burnt all my high vis, but I think I did. I went home, and I remember one of my mates, he goes, "Remember you come home and you said you're never doing this ever again." I threw it all in the bin. I'm like, that's it, no more high vis, no more machines. I didn't know what I was going to do, but anyway, then I got into a sales role selling cars because someone I was talking to at the time. So that's
Sorry to interject here, gents, but we've had varying degrees of passion on this podcast today. We've had Troy, incredibly passionate guy about graders in general.
Yeah.
You sort of possess this other level of passion. It's almost manifested as pure rage, Brad.
Yeah. It happens, yes. And I got a little bit of that. I think it's from growing up where I grew up.
Yeah.
So it was either fight or fly, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, burned the clothes and got into car sales.
Car sales.
And that obviously doesn't help the rage getting into the car sales either. So I don't wish that upon anyone.
A lot of rejection.
Look, I did really well with it.
No trust.
Yeah.
I just sort of learned a lot there. It was for a company called Von Bribber down on the Gold Coast. It's sort of, especially now what I do now, it really taught me just to be myself, I guess. They really try to make you be a computer. It's a script every time you go into a car yard. That person you're talking to, he's following a script. They have training every Saturday to teach you and how to convince that person to buy in the protection. Everything. It's all a script. I didn't do any of it. So anyway, I won like salesman of the month and employee of the month like 5 times. I won holidays and everything like that. So just by not doing that and just obviously being genuine.
Yep.
Which that's what people want to do. People
Yeah.
want to deal with genuine people, and that helped me a lot.
No BS.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I just got talking to a fellow one time. And he goes, "Well, you can do that. Why don't you come sell machines?" And this was a Komatsu guy. I'm like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Oh, I am sick of doing this. Because his car has 6 days a week, 11 hours a day.
Yep.
Like, you got to be there at 7, you're there till close, it's dark every night." I'm like, "Oh, that sounds all right." He goes, "I'll set up an interview." So I had an interview and then ended up getting a job with Komatsu selling utility machines there. So all the minis
Yep.
out of Brisbane.
Yep.
I guess that's where my start of machinery sales come from. Worked with some good guys there.
Did you have a lot of like transferable knowledge? You hadn't operated any Komatsu gear prior to that? Like, was
The
it?
only Komatsu I'd operated was when I was about, I remember it was for Calca, CM Softwoods, they're up here as well. CM,
Oh, CM Hardwoods, is it?
yeah, is
Yep.
it CM Hardwoods?
I think it is.
So they're a colac business,
Okay.
which is Chris Mead.
Yep.
And I actually worked for his nephew at the time, which was Meady. Actually, this is a pretty funny story. I should have told you this. I was only 12. So I was
I was going to say, it keeps getting younger. I thought you were going to tell us you were operating a Komatsu at like 6.
No. I probably should have told you that earlier. 'Cause
Might have been a Tonka truck. Hang on.
I guess it's one of those learning curves you leave. And so Meaty, real wiry, tally, but is bikey fella, like on the Harley, hangs around all the boys, everything like that. And he goes, "I've got this Komatsu down here," because I was still with obviously the family business. But could you just jump on that and do all the stormwater around this shed, which is Sam Softwoods or Hardwoods? I can't remember which one it is. I'm like, yeah, bloody oath. So I was riding my push bike there every day to work and getting on this, I think it was a 6-tonner. And anyway, so doing a bit of work, doing like that. And I remember one day I had to move it to another job. And I drove it up in the back of the tipper, and I got to turn around to put the bucket in the back, and I just hear this big snap. That was the door.
Ooh.
No.
So
So me didn't take that too well.
Yeah.
So I didn't use that excavator again.
you weren't allowed to.
No. I snapped the door clean off. I was
Oh.
trying to spin around. So anyway, I just didn't think and trying to spin around the back of the tip. Anyway, I guess. So that's my Komatsu experience.
Yeah,
So,
right. Just
in
short,
operation.
short, sharp, and fast.
Yeah, it was a PC 55, I think it was.
55.
They were a -2 or something back then. Yeah.
So when you were flogging Komatsu, were you predominantly focused on all of the smaller gear, or did
I
you
was-
eventually?
I was the utility rep.
Yeah.
So that's the smaller stuff. So, but I got along really well with the guys there. I guess a good bond with them. Still talk to them now. They let me sort of start selling some other clients the bigger gear, which is good of them. So I started selling some bigger machines, I guess, some bigger excavators, some bigger loaders, everything like that, and sort of
Yep.
developed into doing that, and sort of got the
Through the
experience of-
Komatsu
Yeah,
range. Yeah.
Yeah, but I met a lot of people that I know today. I guess that are my big customers and stuff as well through Komatsu. So
Yep.
definitely was a
And
good
dragged
learning.
them to the green side.
Some.
Green
They-
and,
they-
and
they-
pale yellow.
Yeah.
They still run some pretty strong Komatsu gear. A lot of people do.
Do they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then from there, did you come across to RDO?
No. From there was me and my mate actually ended up moving into it with each other, which was a bit of fun. We got a house right in Miami on the beach.
Yep.
And so he was all meted up the whole time because he had the broken arm. So because it was COVID and we're getting paid not to be at work,
Oh, yes.
we're playing up a bit. But
At home. Yeah.
at home,
Yep.
yes, yep. Margaritas on the beach and stuff like that. And then me and him started doing a little bit of a home business. So I've got the social media. I've got a fair bit of a history in social media. I've been doing that stuff for a long time. I've had a few pages over my time. I've had a clothing brand that I've sold and everything like that. And I've actually had what no one really knows about. I used to have a page 15 years ago when it first started, which was called the Booty Book. When social media, everyone wanted to get a following. I built this page that had about 180,000 followers.
Wow.
And girls used to pay me to post the photos of them so they could get a following.
Okay.
But Instagram deleted it after a while. But
Yep.
it grew real quick.
Oh, wow.
So obviously,
Yeah.
but yeah, and I'd get like 600 US just for
For a photo.
Proposed.
3 posts. It was crazy. And I started doing it because there's another one called the Butt Block. And
Yep.
I'm like, I'm going to do this as well. So anyway, that's a bit of a vast, bit more.
Bit of an
than-
entrepreneur, bit of
Yeah.
an online sort of dabbling.
Yeah,
in a few
yeah.
things.
And
This
that's
new
sort-
marketing style.
Yeah.
Insta. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got a fair bit of history behind obviously the social media stuff and sales. And so I started an online pet store in that time between going to RDO and Look, that went all right.
Was that created because you saw an opportunity in the market, or you love
opportunity in the
animals?
market because you could not get. Everyone was buying dogs and everything, and me and Aram obviously talking, which is my mate. He goes, "What? Like you cannot get like a pet or something at the moment. Like surely there's people going to be looking for dog beds and everything like that." And
Oh, yeah.
so we started this page, and it went off. Like we did
Drop
140
shipping.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we did $140,000 worth of turnover in 4 or 5 months, right? And we're full of millionaires.
Yep.
We didn't make any money. None of it was profit. Half of these dog beds that we were selling, like we sold $30,000 worth of dog beds in a weekend. They all turned up empty.
Oh.
We had to refund everything. It was
What you've purchased.
So yeah, to get to the house, I'm
Yep.
getting all these emails and everything. It was a nightmare. It
Well,
was
the boxes were empty.
no, there was no foam in the beds. They were just skins,
They had to load them up.
mate. Like the whole thing
Good
was
experience, eh?
Look, the whole thing was a very big learning curve that we didn't make. I said, look, it was $140,000 turnover.
Yep.
None of it was profit. Ended up having to, like when you see those courses online, everyone's trying to show their Shopify store how much they're making. When they're like, I've done that, I've had that. I can tell you right now, it's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my experience with drop shipping through there, and customers too, just buying $10 dog toys and the abusive emails of their 70-kilo Great Dane Ridgeback Cross Bull Mastiff has destroyed his toy, and we want a refund. And so when you run an online store like that, if you have too many complaints or say on Facebook or bad reviews, you still get deleted.
Yep.
So you're pretty much at a point of mercy where you have to refund them.
Yeah.
So it's anyway, I couldn't deal with them anymore. So I've still got it. I just turned it all off. I still own it. It obviously runs with that store that I've got with the earth moving down and stuff we'll probably touch on.
Yeah, yep.
But anyway, gave that up, and I was we were at home with Aaron. I'm like, fuck, I need another car. I don't have a car. I'm like, I better go back to selling machinery. Anyway, I had a look on Seek, and then RDO were looking for a rep, and look, when this stuff happened at Komatsu, I know a lot of the guys, I guess, were just supportive words, but everyone's like, look, this could be a blessing or something like that, but obviously ended up getting a job at RDO, and since I've been there, it's kicked mega goals, brought myself a house and heaps of toys, and I've done really well, and it's worked well. RDO's been a big experience, but...
Mate, you've got a sizable following. I think we looked, so your Earth Moving Down Under is 12.4 thousand, and your Brad RDO 78.2 thousand. Has that was that an account that you owned prior to being at RDO, or have you grown that organically since then?
So the RDO Brad used to be Bishan and Komatsu, I think it was. Bishan and Komatsu. So that's 8 years old.
Yep.
I started when I first got to Komatsu because I didn't, 8 years ago when I started it, no one was doing it. So I was like, surely, and obviously I had the social media back, I'm like, surely I've got to be able to bring customers to me. So I just was trying to think of an idea. How do I get customers to me without me having to go out and chase them?
Yep.
Because obviously I can bring more to me than I can go chase at the same time. So, which worked, because obviously my market share and stuff that I got at Komatsu was more than sort of anyone was there, because I was bringing 70% of customers were just texting me, hey, I need this. I just do out the quote, and then I'd already have the quote in hand. I'd go out and see them, and it was
so you were able to pull quite a few people across just through your socials.
Yeah. So look at RDO now, one of my biggest customers was from social media.
Yep.
Who's no longer around. But
yep. So one thing that really is evident when we're looking at the socials is the level of content that you're putting out there. And we see a lot of guys, whether it's the Yellow Iron guys, shout out to Buddy and all the guys at West Track there. There's a high level of content in the industry at the moment, but yours, it's quite, me being marketing myself, it's very evident that you are creating this with a certain level of production value that stands out from other people's as well. So was this just self-taught videography and content production?
YouTube. So
How many drones have you destroyed?
The FPV stuff.
I've got like 5 or 6 at home.
Going through that greater circle like that.
So that same day I crashed that into Pete.
Did
so
you?
that was Adept, obviously no Pete. So I crashed in front of him. So Pete was watching though, he didn't run over it. But they're made out of carbon fibre. They're really strong.
Yep.
But that does 160.
Oh.
And you fly with, obviously, goggles on.
But, is that Nevada?
No, it's not Nevada. It's iFlight.
Yeah.
So the DJI stuff it's okay, but it's a lot slower and not as nimble. So I use the custom-made ones. I actually built them.
Yeah, right.
And you just can't really get your head around when you're flying for this stuff, not flinching. So when
Yeah.
you go through, you're not flinching, and that's when you touch the controls.
What's
and
the,
sometimes
what's
yeah,
the
yep.
depth perception
it feels like you're in
like?
it. Like
Does it? Like
I've got a video. I'll have my phone. Show you later.
We can overlay it
Yeah.
maybe in post.
Where
Maybe.
when they were doing that duel. No, we don't want to show it. It's illegal.
Okay.
When we were doing the duel, I dived down the duel. The duel building.
Yeah, yeah.
Right down the side of it. But when you're up the top, it feels like you're about to jump off the building. So it's really freakish.
yeah.
Like it's a weird feeling.
It gives you like motion sickness sort of
And
feel.
goggles.
You feel
or
like you're
what are
flying.
they?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's very drone nerdish. Like it's
Because I haven't
these
got a
goggles
clue.
on with these big aerials on them.
It's like you're in a game, mate. That's what. You're flying through these
Yeah.
greater
Well,
circles.
you can do. DJI have an app that you can actually put the goggles on and fly in
Okay.
the game, and it feels exactly the same.
Is that where they train you to basically like a training?
It's
app
it's
sort of thing?
it's an app.
And this
yeah.
is not DJI Kempsey either, guys.
DJI.
DJI.
JI, there we go.
So you, when you were growing this audience, had you always been sort of dedicated towards a higher level of content, or were you sort of like, did this just come along the way?
Look, I think obviously learning to sort of see what people like, and it used to be easier. I know you don't like this word, but the algorithm has changed a lot.
No, well, mate, the algorithm.
The Frosty talks about
Oh,
this.
the
He taught me
algorithm.
about algorithms.
Yeah, you're right though.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. I've been for a lot of those changes where they're trying to push the audience what they want to see and everything like that.
Yeah.
So what used to work a fair few times, it always changes. So
Yeah.
it's recently changed again. But anyway, so I'd sort of get used to what was working. I'd make some videos, but when I first started obviously doing it, I was at Komatsu. And no one used to get to see inside Komatsu and what the mining machines and stuff were like. So that got me a lot of a bigger following.
Hit straight up.
Yeah. And obviously I was allowed at Komatsu to use the company card to promote my page. So I used to spend a lot on that. But
You're running ads. Your ads keep coming up in my feed now. If you don't mind me asking, like, what sort of budget are you putting towards your ads at the moment?
I just put like $2 or $3 a day, and it just depends. I'm just trying again. The reason I am running a couple ads at the moment is ads used to get the page back up and running because my reach is really down at the moment, which is because of this algorithm change. So I'd have a post usually that would go out, and I would get like my exposure on it would be millions, like 10 million people. And now I do a post and my exposure is 3,000.
Oh,
It's because the algorithm's not pushing my content out to the people that need to see it. So it used to be run a short set of ads and it might kick it up again.
Stimulate it.
so this is the socials and not.
on Meta, like Instagram.
Yeah,
and
they're
Facebook,
only letting their viewers see what they want to see, really.
Yep.
And I said it to, what did I say? I said it to Troy the other day, actually, because I messaged him. I said, you know, the picture you just posted, it's not on my feed. And the same thing I said I messaged Jimmy Starbuck the other day. I said, I haven't seen one of your posts for 6 months. So it's just not showing.
Mate, I post stuff from my own business and then go on my own personal Instagram account. It's not there.
Yeah. And this has only just happened, I think, 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So you got to, so what you've probably seen some of my new posts, I'm trying to put a lot of content with it. And I'm sort of cheating a little bit to get into the chat GBT because it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
But they now want more data in it. They now want more information. That's what people do in the overlays as well for the word.
Oh, yeah. They see the words up.
Yeah,
The music's
yeah.
up.
And
The
they want-
video's on.
Yeah.
They want bigger taglines and bigger comments in it as well.
I want value in the post.
Yeah. So I'm trying that. It's not kind of working, but I don't know.
But then, like, some of the stuff you're doing, like the Premium Circle explanatory video you did the other day, was really, really good. I liked it. It was informative. It was an older video, I think, you posted.
Yeah, you should see the outtakes of that. It's a lot of swearing going on there because I just went out there because I have these. I usually do it when I'm feeling a bit like energetic.
Yeah.
I just take the camera stand out and I'll just sit there and I don't script anything. I just try and remember what I need and off the top of my
What you
head.
need to know.
And I keep fucking it up every time. I'm like, and I'm just there, just standing in the yard by myself with this camera pole, just swearing and carrying on. Like, so then I just sort of try and.
Oh, mate, it's all impressive. And, it's, you know, like, we'll attest to it. It's difficult. We did the behind the scenes video of the desk build.
Yeah. It's
The
hard.
amount of takes that we got, the amount of edits that were in that thing to get us, you know, like even being in here, it's this is obviously conversational, but it's difficult and it come up well.
Yeah. No, look, I did change that the other day. I used one of the caption apps, which you can now. I don't know if you've seen people make videos where it focuses on their eyes and they stay still and everything else moves. added the eye tracker on it, try and make it more focused. So
Yeah,
that
right.
sort of worked.
Yeah,
See, it
cool.
worked.
Yeah, it just
So
made
it's
a bit
just
more.
it's just been trial and error to date. To
Yeah.
basically
Has
get to
Cat
the-
copied that high performance circle, do you think?
No.
No.
What are they? They've got the which I've seen at Connex. What is it called again? It is high performance circle. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
the 24s have got them coming out now.
And I
Yeah.
haven't seen inside, but it looks like it's a roller system that sort of rolls on it. It's still open. Have you seen it?
It's like, no, I haven't seen it in the flesh, but
Yeah,
there's
I
a
mean,
YouTube
discussed
video
it with
on
a couple
Yeah.
of
No, I've
guests
seen
here.
it at Connex. I had a good look at it. It's still open. It still looks like it's like a cog sort of system.
Excavator. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's only going to be
Still
on their larger.
The 24s, yeah. So
Yeah,
they're coming
yeah.
out now with an option of the high performance circle. So
Yeah. Well, I've sold a lot of them now, and I think like minimal issues. Like there was one at the start, in which a few customers had, which was just a slip.
Yep.
And all the slip was a bypass valve not letting the oil get back out through another valve. I'm not a tech, so I don't know exactly what it was, but that's all been fixed, and everyone loves them.
are they?
The
Yeah, they're
tolerances
getting good reviews.
Well, nothing's going wrong with them. No, they don't have to adjust anything.
No shims, nothing.
No, and the more power and stuff they've got on them, like 40% more torque, 15% more speed. And look, that only comes from, which I found really interesting because I obviously went to the factory and seen more getting made. That's just the loss of friction. Gives it that more power and more
right.
Is
speed.
that- yeah, okay.
It hasn't got more power. It hasn't got, like there's nothing more getting put into it.
Yep.
It's just because there's no friction of obviously the plates rubbing next to each other.
All over it.
That's where the extra power comes from. Just because
Yeah.
it's a roller system, a ball bearing system, sorry, yeah.
So when do you think John Deere will go the green colour for the earth moving side?
I don't
of
think
it?
they will.
I reckon
Mate,
it'd be a
I
great
saw
sale
one,
point. Hey?
we commented with the Dirt and All socials. I think if Troy posted or he saw my comment, I can't remember. Guy put some flame emojis up thinking it looked great, and he was having a laugh going, oh, the cat boys. But, mate, it looks great. Like, they should all be green.
Well, Pete, who you know, Adept,
Yeah.
Pete wanted to get one done for a limited edition one for
Oh,
Adept.
yeah?
We just don't know how to go about it, or like to try to get that answer out of John Deere is pretty hard.
Yeah.
Obviously, they protect their brand pretty
Yeah.
highly. And the John Deere factory where the graders are made, it doesn't have a green booth. It's just yellow.
Yellow.
Yep.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So the grader would have to go somewhere else.
Yep.
So there's a big job in it, and then obviously not going to change the paint just for one person. So
Yeah.
it'd probably have to come to Australia and get painted.
Well, I know, like Westtrack do, they have the custom paint jobs that roll out.
Yeah, the
like
black
that,
ones,
That
yeah.
white dozer that was doing
Oh,
the
yeah, white
rounds
dozer,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
the black stuff, yeah.
Barlow well done it for
Yeah.
777.
Yep.
Yeah, recently. So
Yeah.
it was a 100th truck delivered to their client. So
Yeah.
Cat got it painted for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. It's something we'd probably have to do here in Australia.
Yep. I think it'd be a great sales point. Just going back to the old
Yeah,
John Deere green.
it would look pretty cool. Because look, at the forestry stuff.
Yeah.
That looks awesome.
Ag,
Like
forestry.
that
yep.
forestry green with it's the same color, with the grey and everything on it. It
Yeah.
looks really good. So I think a grader maybe with the
It gets away from the yellow, Komatsu yellow,
Yeah.
you know,
I just-
cat yellow.
the hurdle is John Deere, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Like their graders are yellow, and that's the way they see it. And
Yep.
I guess we're trying to sneak one out the back door. We might.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
I think someone's done it. Someone painted something somewhere. John Deere green. That was a John Deere product, and there's a little bit of heat on it.
Yeah.
right.
Is there any future movement for John Deere to get in the mining divisions?
Not that I hear or we get told, and I
Yep.
don't think they ever will. I think the 872 is the biggest they'll ever go on the grader.
Yep.
The 1050K is the biggest I think they're ever going to go in the dozer as well.
Is the
There's
dozer? Yeah.
That's their space, I guess, and I don't think they want to.
Yeah.
But maybe if they get stronger in the mining areas,
Yep.
or stronger,
Or a
look,
buyout.
maybe I don't know. But look, in America, it's 50-50 cat and
Yeah,
John
that's
Deere.
it. So
Like, you
big,
go over
yeah.
there and it's massive. So I
Mate,
don't know.
you might not know the answer, and admittedly, we predominantly deal with cat gear here, and it's a bit of Hitachi, a bit of Liebherr. The breakdown of John Deere as a brand in terms of you've got the mowers, you've got the tractors, you've got the
Forestry.
forestry.
Yep.
What sort of, do you know what the biggest slice of the pie is there for them?
Here in Australia,
Yeah.
forestry.
Yep.
Is that right? Yep.
Yeah, forestry is the market leader.
Yep.
I could be wrong actually. Probably it could be. It would be agriculture.
It could be
Sorry.
ag, wouldn't
Yeah,
it? It'd be-
sorry, I'm talking about market share. I know forestry take
Oh,
the market
yeah,
share of that, but
off that
the
area.
like John Deere is one of the. Not John Deere. The new branch up there in Toowoomba, it's one of the biggest John Deere branches in the Southern Hemisphere because of obviously the volume that they do out there.
And this is RDO.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and that's going to be
And what's RDO stand for?
Ron Douglas Offutt, not a day off, which is obviously the old man.
Yeah.
So that's what RDO.
And
so
they're
doing it
US.
Yeah, so it's a family-owned company.
Yep.
And then his son Ryan does a bit of running with his sister in there. But yeah, totally family-owned, private-owned company. So they
Just like a Sime Darby owns Hitachi, Hastings Deering, that type of
no, just completely owned by the family.
family.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's privately owned.
Privately owned.
Yeah,
How many branches have you got here in Australia?
I think in Queensland alone we've got 29.
Yep. Wow.
One in Melbourne, one in Adelaide. We just brought, RDO just brought inland truck sales, so ITR. So they're now,
Yep. Yeah.
we are now DAF and Kenworth dealership.
Mm-hmm.
So they added another 4, I think, dealerships to. I think we're in total we're 36 Australia-wide.
Yep.
We're not in WA, so AFCRI have the agreement over in WA for the John Deere stuff. But anything getting brought out of anywhere but WA, RDO have the rights for the construction gear. So you can't buy construction gear anywhere else.
You said
Yeah.
you went to the factory. Where's that? States.
Moline. So I was in Dubuque in the States, yes.
Uh-huh.
So that was a bit of experience.
Yeah.
Massive, wouldn't it?
Yes, that was good. Yeah, to see sort of how things go there. And that was on obviously the beginning before Connex. We went to Connex last year as well.
Yep.
So we had the factory before that. So we took a few customers there. It was eventful.
Yep.
So but
Usually
yeah.
is.
Mate, we got a lot of audience response to the poll that we threw up. I'll start. So the first
that off the
question,
list.
yeah, we'll cross that one off. The first one come through from Troy Karevsky, Graders Official. How did you convince Rob Harvey to buy a John Deere grader over a Cat?
That was easy. We just had a couple beers and went into the yard and signed it up.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually got a question about this the other day. Now I don't know if I can answer it. I can. We're just a bit of a G up.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So you'd say like
I think
it's about relationship management and fostering the client through the
Yeah,
sales
look,
process.
Look, it is, yes. It's the first time I met Rob. Actually, Rob's a good mate of Guy as well, which me and Guy are good mates as well. And I know Rob likes to stir the pot a bit, so we took a photo of him in front of his new grader that's not his new grader. So.
Oh, it wasn't. And
No, he deals with the Melbourne branch, so
Yeah.
no, it's not his.
Good-
But no, he's not.
good
But yes,
stir.
Troy did message me about that on Instagram. So I just sort of laughed because I had a couple of people and I said, oh, sorry, it was just a bit of a jam.
I got one from Buddy at Yellow Iron. How was it making the change to RTO after selling Komatsu equipment?
Look, it taught me when I don't know, I've grown up around all different brands and everything. And I know like Komatsu is a good product. I sort of noticed when I moved to another brand that it's not really, and I sort of knew this already, but you sort of get into a thing of talking about how good your brand is and everything like that. Mm-hmm. Look, it's taught me like it's one thing. It's not really about the brand. It's who's answering the phone when shit goes south, because it's going to go south. They all break down.
Yep.
Like every machine breaks down. You've got a yard here full of parts.
That's right, for
very
that
reason.
reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and like, yeah, I guess the change there was sort of open your eyes to that. It's look, every machine breaks down. It's just how's it going to handle when it's going to break
When
down.
it happens, yeah.
Like the sales process is the same sort of thing. You sign up a customer.
Sales process is a little bit different.
Yep.
I guess Komatsu's been around in Australia, I think 50 years or something.
Oh,
they had
yeah.
their 50th anniversary here. What's RDO's been here 6 years, so we're still a very new developing company.
Why did you choose to sell John Deere gear specifically?
So that's from Ben Reynolds. Why did you choose to sell John Deere specifically?
I didn't really. I kind of answered that earlier. I was really just needed to get back into the scene. What
Yep.
would I say? I needed a car.
You needed a car,
I needed a car, so I better become a sales rep. Although I obviously pretty good at being a sales rep. It's what I do, and I pick it up pretty well, and I'm good at it. So I may as well get back into it.
And if you know the item that you're actually selling, like a grader or
Yeah, well,
digger.
look, it's completely new product to me. John
Yep.
Deere was, so there wasn't really anything in my mind that made me want to do it. I was just thought I can do it. I thought I can do this. So
Yep.
whatever, I'll work it out. And it was good. I obviously had to teach myself all the new products and new customers and all that. But yeah, there wasn't really anything in particular that made me want to go sell John Deere. Like, I guess.
Are they a John Deere engine?
Yeah.
Are they? Yeah. All
The
way
only
through.
stuff that doesn't have John Deere engines would be the 1.8s, 3.6s.
Oh, the little one,
They've
yep.
got Yanmars.
Yep.
And our skid steers and stuff, they've got Yanmars.
Yeah.
Other than that, everything's a John Deere.
All John Deere. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The next one's sorry, I've got another question here from Rob Harvey. But I don't know whether he meant to reply to the story to us or you, because it says, I have some rippers, I'll DM them to you. So I don't know if he was, I don't, Rob, if you're listening, I don't know if he wanted us to look into these rippers or if.
What I think it meant is he had some ripper questions he's going to DM.
Oh, I thought you had some rippers.
ripper
Okay,
stories.
So I thought that for a second. How's he sending you rippers by DM?
Okay, well then I look.
I thought he might have some ripper
an idiot.
stories.
Well, because well, he did, and we had a bit of a chat in the inbox, and that was pretty much the only thing I could publish.
Here we go. Graders official. What's your favourite John Deere grader configuration?
Does he mean by the controls or just?
What size, maybe?
Look, it'd have to be 872.
Yeah, the biggest.
It's the only
one
one I haven't got to operate as well. Like,
Yep.
'cause we'll never have it on demo days or anything like that. And it's like whenever I sell an 872, it's usually going out mine sites, gas fields.
Is that a
out-
14-foot blade?
16 foot.
16. So this will be 16M.
It compared.
comparable.
It's not as big as the 14M,
Yep.
but because it's a 6-wheel drive, I've got customers that buy them and they will match them up. Got operators that swear black and blue that I don't want to get controversial
Yeah.
on that it will out push and it smashes them all day long. Look, they are a very good tractor for what they are, and obviously half the price of a 14M as well. So yeah,
It's
but
not
that
bad.
the 872 would have to be
872.
my
I think
favourite.
that's the forestry spec in New South Wales too, is it? They love the 6-wheel drive grader.
Well, they're all 6-wheel drive.
Yep.
So you've got
So all John Deere graders.
all of them have got a 6-wheel drive.
Yep.
And then they've got tandem drive. So your 620 as such,
Yep.
tandem drive.
Ah.
622,
Yep.
6-wheel drive.
6-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that goes up from 670, 672, 772, 770.
That's how you
872.
read it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that means obviously the extra 2 means a 6-wheel drive. So we do it in the whole lot. Even say in the 620, which would be a 14M
Yep.
comparable with the C7 in it. So our comparable to that is a 620 with the 6.8 litre.
Yep.
They're all the same grade. It's all the same frame. They just have different blades, different power, different engines, and the
Yeah.
872 gets a different gearbox to get the power to the ground a lot sooner.
That's a good one. Yeah.
But configuration,
learn.
I guess, I don't know. That's sort of what he meant. You reckon?
Yeah. That's what
It's
I'd
got to have
say.
a premium circle
Yep.
as well.
Yeah, with a premium circle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably joysticks. I grew up on
Levers.
antler racks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, using the toggles that John
Antler
Deere
racks.
have.
That's a new one. I haven't heard that.
So using the toggles, which you can have 2 configurations on the John Deeres, which are the toggles or the joysticks.
Yep.
Intuitiveness, I guess, been for obviously learning on antler racks or the old school levers. Those joysticks are so much easier.
Yeah.
And I've had some guys that used to use the toggles and they use the joysticks and yeah, they love them. Yeah.
And that's why you can fly drones so bloody good. Using joysticks like that.
It come from a lot of crashing, so.
The next question is from Jack 93, and I believe we just touched on this. What's your favourite model Deere?
It's Jack 93.
Mm.
It's not Jack Skinner, is it? One of our fitters, I think.
I'm not
What do you
sure,
say?
mate.
What's our
You
favourite
just said, what's your favourite model Deere?
Oh, we just sort of said it, I guess,
Yeah.
which is I do like the graders, the 872.
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a love for the dozers as well. I like the things that go out and you never get phone calls. And our
Yeah.
2 best products I feel I sell is the dozers and graders. It's just, they are a very reliable workhorse.
Yep.
Like as I said before, everything breaks down. It doesn't matter what the brand is, but they just seem to be
Mate's got
very,
a 650. He's pretty happy with it.
yeah.
So-
Yeah. Well, look, 1050 dozer as well. It's a beast. Love driving that thing, but yeah, I've got a bit of a soft. I think it's because I grew up on graders as well.
Yeah, you know
That's what
to
I've known.
do. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Kazza, is it? Kazza?
Kizza.
Kizza. How loose did we get at Komatsu with the giveaway digger I won?
Fuck.
He won a digger?
Yeah.
Model?
I feel like you're even holding yourself back
Yeah.
there
No,
for
we-
this story.
We so there's an event that goes on at Komatsu which is called Boots On. It's actually on it next year. So any customers that are customers of Komatsu and you've got a Guernsey to go to Boots On with Komatsu, jump at the chance. It's awesome. So Kai, I sold Kai, a good mate of mine as well. I sold him a PC55, and Kai was only young when he brought that. I think Kai was only just turned 20 or 21 or something. It's a long time ago now, 8 years. Anyway, I ended up buying another machine, another PC55, and then these boots on come up. So, well, you can come then, Kai, let's go there. And obviously, I was actually a trainer there, so I was only just started there, so they took me there as a trainer. So I was there for 2 weeks training, and it's obviously a piss up every night as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty hard doing training. So I was obviously teaching all the big guys everything about all these new machines, everything. So Carl Grundy works, they want to put me on as a trainer every day. So anyway, that was a bit of experience. So, but at the end of it, they have a customer event that goes for 2 days. It's just they put on the work, something like that. And there's a competition to win a 1.8 ton excavator with a quick hitch and a set of buckets. And we were just telling everyone every night, like, Kai's going to win this fucking excavator, blah, blah, blah. And anyway, we get there to the night of it, and everyone puts their questions in their hat, and Dean Get the time gets up and starts. And we're only just talking to Dean long before it and like into him, because we're all
Half tanked.
we'd been drinking for a long time. It was a good night, great night. And anyway, he pulls out a name and he goes, Kai Floyd. And fuck me, we were just
You've been joking about it up until that
Talked
point
it up,
when he
eh?
won.
Like, mate, we started screaming, like, fuck. Anyway, so he got up, we got this thing, and we grabbed the gold card, and we're straight, there's a whiskey bar next door.
Yeah.
We're just straight on there, pretty much just slapped this card on him. It was, you can imagine we got pretty loose.
Yeah,
it was an amazing experience to be, like, to present and give a free excavator
Oh,
to a
Yeah,
customer.
what a prize. an
And I
excavator.
don't think Kai at the time, I can't remember exactly, I might have been 24 or so, and it was just, there was a lot of big Komatsu customers there, and just everyone was stoked, like, because such a young guy who's got
Yeah.
Kai's having a really good go. Like, Kai's actually also, I don't know if people follow race, he does a lot of that buggy racing and Fink and everything like that.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
actually
yep.
been Australian champion a few times, so he's just
Yeah,
got
right.
into another, I don't know the exact class he does now, but you will see him around. But yeah, no, it was really good. It was a very memorable experience, obviously, in my career. But
Yep.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Really?
we had a bit of a headache the next day. I had to drive I got picked to drive the car back to the airport in the morning. So
Yeah, it was through the short draw.
I was fine to drive. It wasn't like one of these other
No.
times, but yeah, it was a whole crew of us.
The last question that we were actually probably allowed to publish here was from Bud Minute. Is it Brad's good looks that gets him all
the
these
sales.
sales? You look after yourself,
you
mate.
just
You're
gotta
looking
say-
sharp.
100%.
I don't know. He just brought in a digger, actually. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how to answer that. A lot of my customers are male.
Yeah, well,
I hope it's
Jesus.
I hope
pretty
they're not getting too
progressive
many
times
ideas.
we're living in. So,
Look, I don't know, maybe. I don't
look, mate, I don't know. Whatever gets you the sales, whatever does the trick. Hey, as you know, we wrap it up with 5 quick ones with Ryan and Woodsy. We've got a series of short, rapid-fire questions we're going to throw at you, mate. Number 1, what is the dumbest thing you've ever done?
Work-wise?
Just in general.
Oh, shit, mate.
Make sure we can publish it.
That's a hard question to answer for me, man.
Okay. Yeah,
I've done a lot of
Yeah.
stupid shit.
Had a few of them. Just one of them. You don't have to.
One of the dumbest things I reckon I've done was gone. How can I say anything to this?
well, can we publish it? Is it? Oh, you're going to get it approved.
Probably not. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Well, maybe we'll just say we've already maybe covered that off at some point in this episode.
There's got to be something funny I could tell you. There's a lot of dumb things that I've done. That's why I don't really drink too much now.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wrap that one up.
Maybe we'll wrap it up and maybe Woods will hit you with the next one.
What's the smartest thing you've ever done?
Bought a house and stopped renting, I guess.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good call.
Whereabouts? Where do you live?
I'm at Greenbank, so in Brisbane.
Yep.
So I bought a place out there at Everleigh. But now I'm getting a bit bored there, so it's a bit of a family area. And I don't have kids or anything, so
Yep.
I get back to the hustle and bustle, I think, a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Mate, you're from Victoria. AFL or rugby league?
Neither.
Neither.
Oh.
No,
Yep.
neither.
You were at Origin the other night.
I was told I was going to tell you about that, didn't
Yeah,
I?
but we'll talk about that later, maybe.
Didn't get in.
Oh, didn't you?
Oh, you won the tickets that didn't.
Mm.
Were you? Wow.
Oh.
Was it 2,000 tickets or something? Yep.
Mm.
What happened?
We brought some tickets off ticket master.
Yeah.
No, ticket merchant. Ticket Tech cancelled them all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so no one was getting
What, did
in.
they oversell the allocation?
No,
or?
I'm not sure what they've done, but anyway, it was in this line for an hour and a half, and by
Oh.
the time, I just got over it and we left. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a shit one.
Jeez. That's horrible.
What's your favourite conspiracy theory?
Favourite one? Jesus, COVID got me going.
Or
there for a
anyone?
while. Favourite one or favourite true one? Or
Well, yeah, most of them turn out to be true these days anyway. So.
oh, look, I've got a bit of a. The 9/11 one always gets you a bit fear,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
it? 'Cause
it's a bit of a running theme on here too.
Yep, we've had
because
that.
anyone that knows anything sort of can tell that things just don't fall to the ground.
Don't add up.
No.
No.
No,
No.
it's probably that's probably a weird one, a good one. Yeah, you always question.
Yeah.
You got to question everything these days, don't you? Really?
Trump.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Like it's maybe a conversation for another day. But we are living in very, very interesting times.
Yeah, it's look what we just went through of COVID. What can't you question about it? All that stuff.
Oh, mate.
But everything, like look, social media pushes. I know it's a lot of the tool we're talking about a lot, but it doesn't it fuels those conspiracy theories these days. Like I know there's some funny ones, like especially some of my mate of mine that thinks that the contrails is them gassing us, something like that, whatever he thinks.
No, the weather, the cloud seeding.
No, do you know like obviously when a plane goes over and because of the temperature of the air, it turns the
To contrails. Yeah.
They're convinced that that's an interesting one that I don't not for, but I find that pretty funny.
Yeah. It is actually, yeah.
The weather seeding.
Where the
Like there's a clear answer for it, like, and it's
Yeah.
exactly like, oh, well, it doesn't do it some days, well, it's just obviously a bit lower. It's just, you do realise it's freezing up there. And anyway,
Yeah.
the answer's there for it, what it is. I don't know why they look into
windy
it
other
further.
days, and yeah.
Mate, the last question we ask everybody, if you could give your 18-year-old self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Slow down. Just
Yep.
a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And it might be a little bit more forward now if you slow down back then a little bit.
Yep.
And don't listen to too many people around you.
Yep.
Do it your
Because
thing.
they usually got no idea. You find that. Especially when you look back at it now, the people that you listen to just had no idea. Yeah, don't take advice from people that aren't where you want to be.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think so.
Mate, look, it's been entertaining. Yeah, we've learned a bit. We've learned a bit about Brad O'Shaughnessy. We've learned a bit about John Deere equipment and RDO,
yeah.
dealership. So, mate, look, really appreciate you
That's all right. Thanks for having me.
taking the time, come
the
all this way.
product.
Yeah.
Hope I didn't say too much.
Yeah, we'll find out in the review process.
Good luck.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, Brad.
Thanks a lot.
No dramas.
Cheers.
Cheers, eh?
Bye.
Thanks, boys.